Hey friends, welcome back to the Beyond podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Flora. Today, we are going to take a deep dive into the small shifts that make a very big difference in preventing burnout. You don't want to miss this because this is probably one of the easiest things that you can incorporate into your everyday, regardless of what's going on, regardless of what you do for work. So get ready to be transformed. Let's do this. Hi, everyone. You are listening to Beyond, and I'm your host, Dr. Flora. Listen, life is hard. You don't have to do it alone. As a mindset coach, physician, mom, and an infertility warrior, I have mastered techniques to help move you towards contentment and growth. I can't wait to go along with this crazy ass life journey with you while making sure you feel like your best self. This podcast is meant to have you feel unstuck from your rut and less alone. Let's do this. All right, everybody, welcome back. Today, we are going to talk about something so simple, yet so transformative, micro breaks. I've talked about this on my Instagram page. I've also alluded to it many times throughout past podcast episodes, but I had one of my followers on Instagram actually ask me, can you go into detail about micro breaks? So here I am going into detail. Now, you guys don't want to miss this because I do this with my one-on-one coaching clients who are enrolled in my rewritten program. So you are going to get a coaching session today. Let's pretend we're doing that. Okay, so I want you to imagine this. It's in the middle of your workday. You're in a meeting, or in my case, a patient. You've eaten all of your meals and snacks at your desk so far, and this is what's going on in your busy brain. Okay, another work meeting. We're almost done with the day. Oh my gosh, I need to pee. Ah, crap, I haven't peed all day. Oh no, I forgot the yearbook orders for the kids. They're due tomorrow. Oh my God, I also forgot to add milk to the grocery list. Okay, let me grab my phone so I can go ahead and add that to the list. Oh my God, there are 37 text messages from my mom group chat. Wait, you're in a meeting. You should be listening. Put your phone down. Pretend that's been you all day long. And then so you come home, you're done with work, and you just want to sit. Or you reluctantly throw something together for dinner because you don't want your family to starve. You are tired. You are irritable. And guess what? You are going to have to do this all over again tomorrow. You've just lost hope that anything can change. You think to yourself, this is the way life is. This is how it's supposed to be. This is my quote unquote happily ever after. This is just a season. Does this or a version of this sound familiar to any of you? What do you do? Do you push through? Do you constantly multitask because there's just not enough time otherwise? Yeah, I mean, you're not taking breaks, you're not pausing, you're not focusing, you're just grinding harder until you recognize that, oh, damn, I'm just tired all the time. This is my new normal. I really just want to sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix in silence without anyone around me and not do anything. Not just for today, but like for a month and a half. My friend, that's not you just being tired. It's not just a season. This is a version of burnout. And if you ignore it, you are not going to come back to be there for your family as quickly. You're not going to come back to be there for yourself quickly. So take note of where you are in your burnout stages, which I am going to go through in this episode, so you can identify if you are running through the burnout path. Throughout my burnout seasons, and there have been many, I have learned something major along the way. My first burnout season was during infertility and working full-time in medicine. The second time was while I was trying to practice medicine without appropriate staffing. And the third time is, while I was practicing medicine and trying to build a business and develop a podcast, show up on social media. Obviously, I've learned a few things on the way. I changed my mindset for the long run after that very first burnout. The infertility, the practicing medicine, the saying yes to everything. I was that yes woman. I was that woman following the check boxes that other people have made for me. The second time I hit burnout, I realized I love medicine. I love my patients, but our healthcare system is broken, and I feel lucky that I was able to go part-time. The third time I self-reflected. I had changed my mindset. I was as healthy as I have ever been. I adjusted my schedule to prevent burnout. I had found my purpose. I found my passion. I was going for it all. And I actually was enjoying the work. I love coaching. I love connecting with you all over this podcast and social media. And I love medicine. I threw out my hustle culture mindset for sure, but I still want to do it all. But I couldn't do it all being burned out. So of course, what did I do? I dug into the science and I found the answer: micro breaks. And this was relatively new, especially after the pandemic. A lot of us either created a hybrid schedule or some people started working from home fully and didn't have clear distinctions between their workspace and their living space. They were just working all day from the couch, from the bed, on their laptop. Micro breaks was the answer. They are small, micro, but impactful. Micro breaks are tiny pauses that take less than 10 minutes and that you can build in throughout your day. These are game changers for your brain, your focus, and your stress levels. Before we dive a little bit deeper into micro breaks, I want to go over burnout with you all. Now, burnout was initially described as an occupational hazard. It was defined by the World Health Organization as a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. And it is characterized by 3 dimensions: feelings of energy depletion or exhaustion, increased mental distance from one's job or feelings of negativity, cynicism related to that job, and reduced professional efficacy. And I'm here to tell you that you can feel burnout from other aspects of your life too, outside of work. You can feel energy depletion, exhaustion, increased mental distance, negativity, cynicism, decreased productivity, all in relation to your social relationships, your family obligations, travel. I mean, you can apply this to anything. Now, there are 5 stages of burnout. I talked about this earlier in the episode, so I want you to listen closely to see if any of these stages apply to you. And if it does, I want you to just take note of it. And if you are at stage 4 and 5, I want you to call me. We can get you out of burnout together. Call a coach to help guide you. Okay, so the 5 stages of burnout. How do you know you're moving through the path? Just know that burnout occurs gradually. And unless you are looking out for these signs and symptoms, which you are because you're listening to this podcast, it's really easy to slip through all 5 of these stages without noticing. Do you ever feel like you are juggling a million things at once? Especially if you are a business owner. You're trying to grow your business, but also, run your business. It can feel like you are drowning in your to-dos with barely a moment to breathe, let alone dream bigger. I have been there. Now look, I tried hiring a gamut of virtual assistants. but it often felt like there was just one other thing on my to-do list. I had to spoon feed tasks, constantly check in, recheck their work, and still worry about things slipping through the cracks. It wasn't until I found Savannah and Natalie at Every Virtual Solutions that I truly understood the difference between help and the right kind of help. They have extensive marketing, development, and executive assistant backgrounds so they can take the weight off of your shoulders so you can focus on what you do best, being the visionary. Book a free discovery call on their website and mention this episode for a 10% discount for your first 6 months. Head over to everyvirtualsolutions.com. That's EVERAE virtualsolutions.com. Whether it's web design, content creation, email management, social media, PR, or anything in between, I know you will find a way to work together to lighten your load. It's time to end the burnout and start focusing on you. Stage 1, honeymoon. Exactly what it sounds like. You begin a new role, a new job, a new task, a new schedule. You have a lot of energy, enthusiasm, your excitement and commitment to the job at hand. That drive can sometimes lead to taking on more responsibilities and overworking yourself, but you're happy about it. You're excited. This is a good thing. And then you slowly move to the second stage, which is stress onset. So as the honeymoon stage dwindles, there is intermittent overwhelm that settles in. Work or whatever you are potentially burning out from still feels rewarding, but the stress is good, actually. It's good to motivate you. It's good in moving you to action. But if you are using maladaptive coping strategies to manage these stressors, and then you begin neglecting your own needs, this stage can give way to stage 3, chronic stress. Now, chronic stress is stage 2, but more of an everyday thing. The nervous system is now on high alert. You may notice small things triggering feelings of anger. You may feel more tired than normal. This is the stage where burnout symptoms can start. Apathy, anhedonia, decreased motivation, decreased interest, resentfulness, cynicism, powerlessness, social withdrawal. Denial leads you to the next stage, which is burnout. This is when your nervous system has been operating out of survival mode, and it becomes more and more difficult to cope with the everyday demands of life. You are overwhelmed, you are exhausted, you are overwhelmed because you're exhausted, physically, mentally, emotionally, and all of those burnout symptoms intensify. You are feeling these things more days than not. Cynicism, pessimism, imposter syndrome, self-doubt with your decisions, physical symptoms even. Maybe others around you start noticing slight changes. And then there's stage 5, chronic burnout. This is stage 4, but it is embedded into you. You don't know what your norm was or should be now. You almost kind of settle into chronic burnout. It's like this comfort zone, but you're not happy with the comfort zone, if that makes sense. You're constantly exhausted about everything, not only work. It bleeds into other aspects of your life. And this is when you're constantly feeling the cynicism, the self-doubt, even physical symptoms like gastrointestinal issues, insomnia, maybe palpitations, rash, hair loss. Everyone responds very differently to chronic burnout. Burnout isn't just about working long hours. It is about true energy depletion, and it's different from tiredness. So tiredness is reversible. You have a newborn in the house and nobody is sleeping, but you are pushing through with an extra cup of coffee, you nap when the baby naps, or you catch up on sleep while maybe a partner takes over, you hire help so you can sleep. That's reversible. That is a season. Burnout is chronic. It doesn't get reversed with sleeping in. It doesn't get reversed by a vacation. So if we can talk in metaphors, say we have a car, and for the story's sake, a gas car. Tired means your car is running low on gas and you need to go to the gas station and fill it up so your car can run smoothly. Burnout is when your car is fully out of gas, engine is done with, it is stuck on the side of the road. You need a tow truck to tow your beat down car to the auto mechanic. And then you pick it up a week later after the mechanic worked on it. And he goes through all the things that you need to do in order to keep your car running. So how are we going to avoid breaking down on the side of the road and spending a week at the shop? Micro breaks. I'm a primary care doctor and preventative care is my love language. So let's prevent burnout before it happens. So just to get nerdy, because we're all cool, this is supported by science and studies, of course. So let's first talk about what's going on in our brain. We all function at different brain waves. The first one is gamma. Gamma brain waves are what we see with intense concentration, learning, or having a peak experience. Beta brain waves come with problem solving, being engaged, alert. Alpha waves are our relaxation brain waves, recharging brain waves, and also creativity. Theta and delta are our dream state, deep sleep, visualization, restoration brainwaves. So as you wake up in the morning, your brain is slowly coming out of various stages of sleep, meaning the brain waves are transitioning from the theta delta waves to alpha waves. Alpha waves happen when you just wake up. When you just wake up, you should be relaxed. You are in a restful awake stage. You're not processing much information. You're not solving life problems, which is why you should not be on your phone first thing in the morning, just FYI. But alpha waves are good. And there are a number of small studies suggesting that alpha waves can be enhanced by meditation and mindful practices, which in turn decrease the symptoms of anxiety and depression. So let's apply alpha waves to micro breaks. Ideally, we want our brains to switch from the gamma, beta, intense concentration, problem solving, engage waves to the alpha, the calm, cool, collected. Research consistently demonstrates that short, regular breaks, aka micro breaks, during work improve well-being and can positively impact productivity, especially for tasks requiring less cognitive demand. So if you need to, write a chapter for your new book, theta waves probably may not be where you want to be, but it could also work for you because theta waves also are the brain waves when it comes to creativity. Moving on, there was a study in the Journal of Applied Psychology that found that micro breaks can actually boost your energy and prevent fatigue during a normal workday because they give your mind a chance to reset, which goes along with that alpha wave relaxation state. Another study showed that even something as small as a 30-second break every hour can improve concentration and reduce errors. Last, another study showed taking micro breaks during the workday may have short-term effects on occupational well-being, whereas using work-related strategies like goal setting, working in a positive work environment, supportive staff, boss, so on and so forth, have long-term positive effects. So micro breaks aren't just for work. They're crucial for us working moms who juggle 100 million things all at once. They help you feel less frazzled and more like yourself. So what does a micro break look like? How can we turn those active brain waves into a relaxation one? Meditation, visualization, deep breathing, boxed breathing, they all have shown to enhance alpha wave activity. Other examples are stepping outside for some fresh air, a quick stretch, a 1-minute dance party, a 3-minute yoga session, brain dumping your feelings, your to-do list, ideas. My personal favorite, because this is the easiest, grab a glass of water and just stare out the window. Like, be bored, veg out, in front of light, in front of sound, open the window and taste some water. These are free, you guys. These are your brain's maintenance stops. We need to prevent burnout before it happens. And look, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, I don't have time for breaks. There's just too much to do. Like, I can't, it's just overwhelming. Remembering to take the micro break. And I do want to acknowledge, yeah, there is a lot to do. You are doing it all. But I want you to be productive and I want you to do it all in a healthy manner. So how are we going to incorporate these micro breaks that can enhance those alpha brain waves? Here are some tips. 1, change that mindset. Duh. You know that was going to be my first go-to. Admit to yourself that you are not a robot. You are a human. You are an imperfect human. And as a human being, if you want to be productive, you have to build in those micro breaks, period. Another tip, schedule these micro breaks in. Put it in your phone, put an alarm on, block off your work schedule, make it a non-negotiable. For example, if you work from home, block off a commute time in the morning and a commute time in the evening. So start your workday with a grounding activity like a walk or a meditation or a quiet breakfast, anything. And that is the time that you would have used to, quote, commute to work if you worked in an office. Same thing at the end of the workday. Do a grounding activity that closes up the workday so you can switch your brain and your concentration to home life. But what you can't do is go rushing with your morning routine, checking your phone, social media, emails, text messages, yelling at the kids, having no food, then straight to your laptop. This is what I tell my coaching clients to do. I tell them to make a brain break list. You can call it whatever you want, but make a list. If you have a day where you can take 1 5-minute break per 30 minutes. That's actually a lot. Write down a bunch of 5-minute activities you can do. That way, there's no thinking on the spot. You're not making any crazy decisions. You're just picking an activity and doing it for 5 minutes. Say you have a day, for example, on my clinic days, I can't take a 5-minute break in between patients. I mean, usually it's just back to back. But I do have 40 minutes for my lunch, but it doesn't take me 40 minutes to eat lunch. I will take maybe a 10-15 minute break to use the bathroom, eat my lunch in silence, not staring at my computer, and then I'll go outside. I'll go walk for 20 minutes. And then that still leaves me 10 minutes to warm back into work before my next patient comes in. So that is your next ask. Make a list of brain breaks, micro break activities that you can do for 1 minute, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you have larger breaks, if you are able to, 20 to 30 minutes. What are micro habits that you can do depending on the time that you decide to give to yourself? Another tip is to habit stack. Now, we all have heard, I'm sure, of habit stacking. It's really a cool way to build habits by linking them to existing ones. So every time you refill your water bottle or you grab a cup of coffee, do a 30-second shoulder roll. Or when you go refill your water bottle, just close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. You know what I do when I'm warming up my lunch? I'll just go outside and stare outside. I will listen to the birds. I will stare at nature. And that's 1 minute while my food is in the microwave warming up. That's 1 minute I have to myself where I give myself a micro break. And for my friends who take their phones in the bathroom with them, every bathroom break, do a mental check-in. Don't take your phone. Don't scroll. And again, this is going back to the mindset part of this. Micro breaks don't equivalent to slacking. It means that you're investing in your ability to show up for your work, for your kids, and most importantly, for yourself. Because when you're running on empty, everybody feels it. Listen, burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a sign that we need to pause, and we need to incorporate those pauses throughout the day. It doesn't need to be expensive. It doesn't need to take very much planning. It doesn't even need to take that much time. It just allows you to hit the pause button that lets you go beyond the overwhelm and into a life that truly does feel like yours. And I'm going to say this one more time. If any of those burnout stages resonate with you, please contact me. I am a burnout coach. I have helped dozens of women not only come back from burnout, but prevent burnout. It's so important. It's so important for your contentment, your sense of control, feeling true joy, balance, and to have the bandwidth and energy to take on life's true obstacles, which I know there are a lot of them, and a lot of them will come out of nowhere. So you know where to find me. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Beyond podcast. If any of this resonates with you, please share it with a fellow working mom, sister, friend. We all need this nudge. We all need this reminder. And remember, this podcast is a two-way conversation. I would love to hear from you. If something in today's episode resonated, DM me on Instagram. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is. I love connecting with you. And don't forget, the best way to show support is to write a review on Apple Podcast or rate the podcast on Spotify. Please continue sharing the podcast. Sharing this episode will really, truly mean the world to me. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, remember, mindset is medicine. Keep showing up for yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for joining and spending your precious time here with me. As someone who prioritizes her energy, I am so grateful that you chose to spend yours here. To help me help you, please take an extra 30 seconds of your time to rate and review the podcast on your listening platform. For more tips and a behind-the-scenes look into my life, follow me on Instagram at Dr. Flora Sinha. That's Dr. Flora Sinha. Finally, connecting with you truly fills my cup. So DM me on Instagram, email me at florasinhamd@gmail.com, repost if you love this episode. I love hearing from you. I am so grateful for you and cannot wait to be back for the next episode. Bye.